news happening now. This is Wave 3 News.
We're following breaking news tonight as a bus carrying more than 24 children turns on its side in rural Harrison County, Indiana. 34 people were on the bus when it crashed, including 4 adults. Thanks for joining us. I'm Shannon Cogan.
And I'm Scott Reynolds. Those students were on their way to a camp in a bus from the First Baptist Church of Hammond. It happened at Highway 135 and Lickford Bridge Road in Harrison County, Indiana. Now, several on that bus taken to 2 different hospitals with injuries. We have team coverage for you tonight. Wave 3 News reporter Myra Ansari will join us from Corsair Hospital, where 3 children are getting checked out.
But first, we go to our Theo Keith, who is live from Harrison County Hospital in Corydon. Others were taken there. And Theo, do we know what caused this crash?
Well, no, at this point, all we know is that this church bus ran off the road. Of those 34 children, 31 of them were taken here to Harrison County Hospital. None of them have life-threatening injuries. Want to take you out to the scene. We were there just a little over maybe a half an hour ago. That church bus from Hammond, Indiana, ran off the road, a rural road, landed on its side, did not flip over, but it landed in a ravine. A witness told me on the scene that by the time first responders got to the scene, some of the children had gotten out of the bus, others needed to be helped out of the bus. These were all mostly 13 to 15-year-old girls who were then taken here to the hospital. They were coming from northwest Indiana down here to Harrison County on almost all of the way there, maybe only 10 miles or so from their location when the bus driver ran off the road. Again, 31 children taken here to the hospital, 21 of them just to be checked out. We're expecting to get an update on the conditions of the others and some other information from the Harrison County Sheriff, and we'll certainly bring that to you on Wave 3 News at 7. Now, want to get to Louisville, where Myra Ansari is standing by at Corsair Children's Hospital. Myra, what do you know about the children's conditions there?
Well, Theo, the good news is that the children who were brought here to Corsair Children's Hospital, they are expected to be okay. A total of 3 were brought here. 1 was flown in. 2 others were brought in by ambulance. And again, Corsair Children's Hospital tells us that the children have been checked out by doctors here, and they are expected to be okay. This is video of the ambulance that pulled in around 4:25 today after the church bus had rolled over on its side. And again, Corsair says that the children that were brought here to the hospital are expected to be okay. They are in fair condition. If anything changes, we will bring you updates on wave3.com and on Wave 3 News. Reporting live from Corsair Children's Hospital, Myra Ansari, Wave 3 News.
All right, thanks to Myra and Theo. And once again, this is the latest information regarding this bus that was from First Baptist Church of Hammond. It crashed in rural Harrison County, carrying 34 people, 4 adults, 30 children, 3 of those children taken to Corsair Children's Hospital. None with life-threatening issues, though. An ambulance took 10 to Harrison County Hospital, 21 taken by bus there just to get checked out, make sure that everything is good. We'll have more details as we get them on wave3.com. Allegations of dismemberment and cannibalism, a horrific murder out of Jeffersonville coming to light as a suspect appears in court for the first time.
Police arrested Joseph Oberhansley for killing his ex-girlfriend, Tammy Jo Blanton, in her home. And we want to warn you, the viewers out there, that some of this information is extremely graphic.
Wave 3 News reporter Katie Bauer is live in Clark County tonight. And Katie, what did the suspect have to say in court?
Well, Shannon, he interrupted the judge several times in court to say that his name is not Joseph Oberhansley and that his name is Zeus Brown. Going off of that, he said that he didn't commit any of these crimes that he's charged with. Prosecutors believe he was putting on a show. Court documents state Tammy Jo Blanton called police around 3 a.m. on September 11th to say that her ex-boyfriend Oberhansley would not leave the outside of her house after she changed the locks. Police waited until he left before they did. Just hours later, they went back to the house to do a welfare check, and they discovered Blanton's body. Oberhansley was still at the house. At the time, court documents state he confessed to killing Blanton with a knife. According to the probable cause, he also admitted to dismembering her body and cannibalism. Court records state that Blanton's heart was removed, along with her skull and part of her lungs.
After being a prosecutor for so long, you think you've seen everything. And this is one of those cases where I've never seen this.
When Oberhansley was a teenager, he served time for killing a girlfriend in Utah. Family and friends of Blanton said that she was aware of his past and thought she could change them. Oberhansley is being held here in Clark County without bond. Live from the Clark County Courthouse, Katie Bauer, Wave 3 News.
Thanks, Katie. We've learned today that Minnesota Vikings running back Adrian Peterson will play on Sunday night against New Orleans despite his child abuse charges. A Texas grand jury indicted the 29-year-old for striking his 4-year-old son with a switch this summer multiple times, leaving marks all over the boy's legs. The team says they're taking the situation seriously, but Peterson is entitled to due process within the legal system. Peterson says he never meant to hurt his child, and in a statement today wrote, "I am not a perfect husband, I am not a perfect parent, but I am, without a doubt, not a child abuser." Following that indictment, a debate, of course, has ensued over what constitutes child abuse.
Wave 3 News reporter Cedra Mayfield checked in with several local experts and has more from Family and Children's Place.
Depending on your upbringing, you may see corporal punishment like spanking simply as discipline. But turns out in the eyes of the law, there is a distinct difference between punishment and abuse.
You know, a lot of the folks who hurt kids,
It knows no age,
don't mean to hurt kids.
no ethnicity,
They often act before they think.
no socioeconomic makeup.
The majority of the children who are injured are 4 or under.
Child abuse cases draw some of everyone through family court doors on a regular basis.
We have 10 family court judges here in Louisville, and each of us has a child abuse docket once a week.
While Judge Patricia Walker Fitzgerald says corporal punishment is not illegal in Kentucky nor Indiana for that matter, abuse, however, is.
No parent has the right to injure a child.
So what's the difference, and when has the line been crossed?
It's really anything that causes a visible injury to the child. So it can be bruising, swelling, cuts on the leg from a belt or from switches.
There's a difference between discipline and punishment.
Judith Thalberg runs a first-time parenting program called Hands at Family and Children's Place.
Punishment is hurtful and it's irrelevant to the child's behavior.
Among the skills she instructs, natural and logical consequences.
You didn't pick up your toys, you don't get to play with them.
In place of corporal punishment.
If the child doesn't pick up his toys and you spank him on the bottom or whatever it is that you do, what's the connection between that spank on the bottom and the toys?
From positive reinforcement to taking away privileges, both women agree parenting does not have to be painful to be effective. Many parenting classes are offered free of charge and not just with referrals. I've posted details on how you can take part at wave3.com. In Louisville, Cedra Mayfield, Wave 3 News.
And when it comes to corporal punishment in schools, it's still technically legal in Kentucky and Indiana. That's along with these other 17 states that you see there in red. Now, as for those in blue, there are laws in place banning corporal punishment in schools.
Well, we're another step closer to tolling along the Ohio River Bridges project. Today, the Kentucky-Indiana Board recommended Virginia-based company CAPS Traffic Com USA to oversee the tolls. But the Indiana Finance Authority needs to sign off, and then there must be a public hearing before it becomes official. A Kentucky Transportation Cabinet spokesman says the tolling will be electronic. You won't have to stop to pay. He says tolling is something the board does not want to do, but has to because of limited funds.
Tolling is a necessary component of what we have to do to see this project move forward in this area. So,
officials have yet to decide exactly when the tolls will go into effect, but it will be sometime in 2016.
More than 1,000 jobs coming to Lexington at Xerox today. That company announcing it'll add 1,200 jobs. About 400 will be for permanent full-time positions in a customer call center. The company also trying to fill about 50 entry-level positions like data entry operators and mail sorters. For application information, head to our website, wave3.com.
A Sunday celebration gets surprisingly expensive for 2 Bengals fans.
And at the Colts game tonight, women's groups stand ready to send a message on violence.
Rain moving across parts of Kentuckiana. It's not going to hit everywhere. Find out who'll see the rain and who'll stay dry, along with the rest of the workweek forecast straight ahead.
Right now on wave3.com, you can stream this and every newscast live from your computer, tablet, or mobile device.
Honored with the Edward R. Murrow Award for overall excellence. You're watching Wave 3 News.
They may have been the only local team to pull out a win this weekend.
Yeah, but after the celebration, some Cincinnati Bengals fans came back to an unfortunate surprise. What a mess. A piece of the I-75 overpass that they had parked under right there by the stadium crumbled, hitting their car, shattering the windshield. Now, police say the section near Longworth Hall has been taped off. Officials went out to inspect this morning. The two men who rode to the game in the car say they feel very fortunate.
Yeah, if somebody was even tailgating here, throwing cornhole or, could have been real bad.
It's a new danger they have to watch out for. I'm just fortunate it's a car and not a person.
One of the chunks that fell was actually marked already with an X, as were several other sections of that overpass, because officials say those sections were marked for repair.
A sellout crowd expected at Lucas Oil Stadium for Monday night's Colts game, and those there will see a plane with a hashtag Goodell Must Go banner flying above downtown Indy. The same message flew above 3 other stadiums Sunday. It is a call to action from women's rights group Ultraviolet, asking for the commissioner, Roger Goodell, to step down in light of the Ray Rice abuse scandal. The NFL originally denied seeing the video of Rice hitting his then fiancée in an elevator prior to its release last week. However, contradicting reports say a law enforcement official informed the league months before, sparking outrage.
Indiana education officials want to keep tabs on all the college dropouts. The state's Commission for Higher Education is creating a database on former college students who never graduated. It's part of a program aiming to get them back into school. Officials say Indiana has 737,000 adults with some college credits, but no degree. The Commission's plan is to contact all of those adults by January 2016 and to eventually have 200,000 of them get those college degrees.
A father's plea asking the community to find a match to save his child.
Well, temperatures across Kentuckiana dropping in the wake of some rain pushing into the region. Not everybody's going to see it. We've got the latest radar views for you, so you can plan your evening coming up.